It is Thursday, the 4th of December. Good morning, TikTok. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Are we all good? Chinese telephone. How are we? What's going on? What's going on with you lot this morning? What's going on with me this morning? Not a lot. Not a lot. I'm a bit late. I've been just trying to do a few different jobs. I had a bit of a lie-in this morning, you know. I had myself a cheeky bit of a lie-in. I say a lie-in. I don't know what anyone classes a lie-in, but I got out of bed at 7:30. For me, that is a lie-in. So I got out of bed at 7:30. I didn't get in here till just after 8. And normally I always have half an hour or so, catching up on a few messages from last night, few other bits and pieces to do. So, yeah, that's why I'm a bit late. Anyway, we're going to do this live till about 9:30. And then I'm back at 10:15. If you are on plan or in the community, Weight Loss Coaching Live, 10:15 this morning. I'm pushing it 15 minutes because I'm always a bit late anyway. So I'm going to push it 15 minutes. And yeah, 7:15. What are we doing in today's Weight Loss Coaching Live? We're talking about the future. We're talking about 2026. We're time traveling to 2026. And we're going to talk about getting back into things after Christmas, restarting the journey, getting back into things, what you're going to expect from the scales, the mindset you need to approach that with, and then just some tips and tricks about how to get back into the swing of your weight loss journey in January. And there's a few things we need to face in January. Look, January, February, March is a fantastic time for losing weight because it is a quiet time, right? It's very chilled, very relaxed. You're not getting many messages saying, "Oh, we go to Spoons after work." Or we do. Some of you might, but for most of us, it's quite quiet. It's quite chilled. You're a bit skint. Friends are a bit squint. That as well. Everyone's a bit still full from Christmas. They've had the blowout. Everyone's sort of New Year's resolutions, motivations high, and we have to make hay while the sun shines. So. But still, some of us do struggle to get back into the journey. So I'm going to give some tips, tricks, things like that. And then this is just there for my community. It'll be saved back to YouTube. And, you know, I recommend, well, I'm going to do it today and maybe rewatch it 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th of Jan, just to give you a little bit of a refresh and a little bit of motivation to get back into the journey, basically. Anyway, there we go. Until then, it is still just about business as usual. I've found my iPad. I flipping lost my iPad. I hadn't lost it. It was under a load of clothes. Technically, I had lost it. Anyway, I found my iPad. So I can get my iPad up with Magic Pencil. And I can do my NutriCheck. That's what I need to do. Well, I say that's what I'm going to iPad. I'm going to have a look through my NutriCheck. It's easier doing it on my iPad than I normally have my iPad sort of sat on my desk. It's easier doing it on the old iPad than it is. Though, is it all working? It is all working. So we're on a bit of a weird one today in terms of, well, we've just decided what we're at. We haven't planned tea. An iPad has access to iMessage. Yeah, that's all right. I'm all right with that. It's my iPad, mate. Thank you. My phone, let me know. Oh, and my computers, let me know. I love Apple. Everything just links together. It just works. But we're not going to get into that. Food today. So let's do some food tracking before I do the top 5 this morning, just while I remember. So, chatting to Rach, what we're having for tea? Well, I don't know. What do you fancy for tea? What do you fancy for tea? It's not something we should be doing. We should sort of know. But we've settled on, where's my flipping thingy on my meals? Here we go. We're having my bacon and mushroom tagliatelle carbonara. It is on YouTube if you want the recipe. I have the recipe. It's in my app. So I just go carbonara in NutriCheck, click search. There we go. Bacon and mushroom carbonara. Few, because I've made it so many times, there's a few different varieties of it. The one with the picture is the one that is on your and that includes 40 grams of garlic bread. That should be the one that's the recipe for, or it's actually might be the one in my recipe book. Let me have a look. Let me have a look at my few different. Oh, that's 75 grams. 2 whole eggs, 2 times 75 grams. Yeah, that's going to be more. That's going to be more the one. That is going to be more the one. What's that one? That's with one. Yeah, right. We're going for that one. 532 calories. Let's put that into tea. What am I having with that? I'm going to bulk it out. The old tender stem broccoli goes with anything. It is the goat of veggies. If you don't have a packet of tender stem broccoli in your fridge all the time, change that. And then we're going to have a bit of Carlos garlic bread. Just one piece. Just one piece. We're on it at the moment. Carlos garlic bread slices. The frozen ones are the best. 93 calories each. There we go. Tea's trapped 661 calories. Lunch, I'm having half packet of tender stem broccoli again with my peri peri turkey chili that I made the other day with some long grain rice. 646 calories. Breakfast, we're not having it. Afternoon snacks, we're at Lidl. We're doing Lidl worth the calories today. Yeah, that's one of afternoon YouTube content. I'm going to try and record a podcast today. I've not done one for ages. I don't even know what podcast number I'm on. It was end of September last time I recorded a podcast. It has been 2 months. But I'm going to record 2 before the end of the year. 1 this week, 1 next week. And this week's podcast is I'm going to talk about weight loss injections. Going to be a couple of different kind of angles to that, right? So basically what I'm going to do is I've worked very closely this year with a lot of people using weight loss injections. So from having a full pretty much 12 months of working with clients on them, different feedback, seeing all different, not sugar-coated it, clients being open and honest with it, I am going to give you my true thoughts, my current true thoughts. They will change. They genuinely will change all the time. But my current true thoughts of what my honest opinion is currently of weight loss injections. And why I'm doing it now is because a lot of people are going to be thinking about going on to them in the new year, right? So, so we're going to go down that route. Right, what podcast are we on? Episode 60 was We Are Not Robots. I'm positive I've done one since then. Yeah, that's not my last podcast. That's not my last podcast. That's one that's coming up. No, that might not be my last one. 61. Your relationship with food could make or break your diet. That was my last podcast. Right. Oh, that's going to do my nutting. I can't finish on an odd number. I might need to record 3 more before the end. I might finish off with 3. Anyway, we're doing today jabs. That will be out today as well. I'm going to do next week Christmas. All right. Handling Christmas. I've done a lot of lives with my community around Christmas. Handling Christmas. And then then I might do a New Year one before Christmas. I might do a pre-Christmas and a post, like how to handle Christmas and then out, like a bit like I'm doing today in the lives, but I do it as a podcast. There we go. Right, we'll try and get that done. I might record them all next week. I'm going to do one today, which will be out today, and then the other 2 I might record next week and release one next week, and then one the week after, and then that's an even number 64, isn't it, for the podcast numbers? All right, and I'll give you a little bit of viewing. There we go. Should we do top 5 on TikTok this morning? Faye's in at number 1, Lou's in at number 2, Kelly's in at number 3, Nikki's in at number 4, and Mama Bear is in at number 5. And Nikki's put can actually join this morning. Final day of the challenge. I'll be putting this in a message to you. I can't believe. So group 1 of you challenges, it ends tomorrow. Last day of the challenge for group 1. Group 2, it's next week, and the winners aren't announced till next week. But you guys, what I'm actually, I'm umming and ahhing about how to do this, if I'm being honest with you. So basically, when my clients do take part in my challenge, how well they do in each check-in determines how many points, and you get a maximum of 12 points. And I make the targets, I make them, accessible. I make them achievable, realistic. They push people, right? And all my clients but they're there for a reason, right? They're there to push you a little bit, but not too much out of your comfort zone, because whatever you're doing on your last challenge target, if you can do it for these 2 weeks, you can do it permanently, and you should be looking at doing it permanently, right? In terms of, controlling and don't get me wrong, it doesn't need to be every single week, but you've just proven to yourself, I've just done this for 12 weeks. And what I ask my clients to do is ask them to shave a little bit off their calories, not loads. Like, I don't think it's even 5%. I think I ask them to shave about, so what their ideal deficit is, but they're used to eating their ideal deficit. I ask them to shave like 5% off, around that, between 5 and 6%. And then I push them on with their steps. They get bonus points. All right. Challenges, you get bonus points. There's 28 bonus points on offer. And 10 bonus points is determined by how well I feel you've hit your targets, right? So, for example, I ask you to go about to go about 5% under your ideal deficit, right? If each week you've been around your ideal deficit, you'll get maybe 2 bonus points. If you've been bang on the money between sort of 5 and 6%, you might get up to, 10 bonus points. If I feel you've over restricted yourself, or you've gone way under your ideal deficit, but the scales haven't reflected in the results, right? I don't know how many calories you've burned. And this does happen year on year with the challenge. I get people that are 2,500 calories under their ideal deficit, which would put them in a calorie deficit to lose 20 pounds over 12 weeks, and they've lost 9. So I'm like, well, you're inaccurate. So the bonus points make or breaks the challenge, if I'm being honest with you. All right. It's a bit like, do you remember when like Strictly Come Dancing? Strictly Come Dancing, you get judges' scores. I've not watched it for years, but Strictly Come Dancing, you get judges' scores, and then you get the audience vote. That's kind of how it works with the challenge. So the 6 challenge check-ins are like judges' scores, right? And then the bonus points is like the audience vote on how well they think you've done, in a way. But there is a bit of science behind it. And then it's also down to me on how well I feel. Like I say, and it is a challenge. It is a competition. There's always at least 1 or 2 people that get a bit miffed by their final score. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. I'm as fair and as honest as it comes. But there we go. But it is the last day of the challenge for Group 1. You'll have to be patient with me tomorrow, Group 1ers, because to work out the bonus points takes a while. And I don't know whether to just give you your challenge check-in points tomorrow, which I think I've not done this before. And then next week, when the challenge ends, when Group 2 check-in, to then send everyone their total score, right? That's what I'm potentially thinking of doing. I haven't quite decided yet. So tomorrow, it is the end of your challenge, Group 1. You'll get your normal check-in thingy. I will be working out the bonus points tomorrow and logging them down, but I don't know if I'll tell you until next week. So everyone next Friday will basically get all their final scores together, because I know you'll chat a little bit in the groups and WhatsApp each other a little bit. So I haven't 100% decided yet. All right. Morning, mate. Morning, Anna. So you good? Maureen, good morning to you too. Have a great day. I'll phase off. Faye, have a great day yourself. Kimmy Bums, get back to the gym after the weekend away. Brilliant pick. Sometimes that's what you've got to do, mate. And morning, mate. You just got to grit your teeth and get going. Really enjoying the chance for motivation. And that's why you do the challenge. You're not doing that. I know people are competitive, right? But take your own wins out of it. For what you pay, that little bit extra, which in the grand scheme of things isn't, it's like £8 a check-in more, right? Does it even? It might not even be that, right? You've got to take, it's about £7 a check-in more. And you've got to take your own little wins, how it's driven you on, especially this time of year, And have you done more out of the challenge than you would do normally? It's a really good tool. Love what you said yesterday to one of the. Hang on. I don't know how it's been moderated, but it has from Lita. Love what you said yesterday to one of the girls about what you weighed this time last year. It really resonated with me. What do you mean by that? How did it resonate, Lita? Let me know. Hello, it's only me. Hello, Lynn. Good morning. Let's show me back to track and take. I went out for dinner on Tuesday and it's triggered me to overeat yesterday, raging myself back to track and take. Can't change the past, Cheryl. You can only change the future. So just draw that line, right? And there's absolutely no point dwelling on the past. We spend how over the years that you've been on this planet, how much time have you wasted dwelling on something you physically can't change? You are not in control of. I used to do it all the time, festering about things. And we get annoyed with ourselves at times. I still get annoyed with myself now at times, but I just wipe the slate clean straight away. Because honestly, I have just spent so many years overthinking and festering and on things that I have no control over. I cannot change. I could say to myself, I got out of bed at 7:30 this morning instead of 6:30, right? And that then I was a bit late into the office and then I was 10 minutes late. I know it's no biggie whoopsie, but some people would like beat themselves up over that. I'm like, I got out of bed at 7:30. I can't change that. I can't turn back time and go, what I can say is getting out of bed at 7:30 this morning. Yeah, yes, I've had a little lie in, but that put a bit of extra pressure on me, which made me, because I always, anything that comes in after sort of 5, 6 o'clock at night time, I sort of do before my lives in the morning. And it put a bit of pressure on me. It made me late for my live and this, that, and the other. So tomorrow, let's get up at 6:30. If it bothered me, it hasn't bothered me at all. I fancied an extra hour in bed and I had it and I enjoyed it, right? But you can't change the past. But if you're currently like, if you had a day where you didn't track yesterday, track today because you're improving. You're better than yesterday. Just try and be better. Just try and be a bit better today than you were yesterday if you feel like you're not giving it your all. That's all anyone can ever ask of you. It's all I'll ever ask of you, right? We're not perfect. But then what we've got to understand is with Cheryl there. So Cheryl went out for dinner on Tuesday. Now, I don't know if Cheryl's posh, which means she went out for a tea, or whether Cheryl went out for dinner and she genuinely went out for a dinner, right? So I do breakfast, dinner, and tea. So if someone tells me they're going out for the dinner, they're going out at 12 p.m. If you're down south, or if you're posh and you say you're going out for dinner, you might go out at 6 p.m., 7 p.m., But what Cheryl needs to ask herself is, why did going out for a meal at any point of day on Tuesday, why did that then trigger her to overeat Wednesday? What's the trigger points for it? Why? Is it just a simple case of, well, I blew my calories on Tuesday, so I thought I might as well blow my calories on Wednesday. What's the point? That attitude is a really common one. And it's basically the same as driving down the road, getting a puncture on your front right tyre. And because you've got a puncture on your front right tyre, I might as well let down the other four. How many tyres has your car got, Neil? It's a special car, special chap, right? But that's what it's like. Or, I've got a puncture on my front right tyre, I might as well pop the other 3. It's just bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers behaviour. I've done it so many times, and there's no rationale behind it. We sort of say, why have we done that? Why having? And it's just an emotional trigger. It's an emotional trigger, and it's a self-sabotaging attitude. And we need to work. And it's just a simple case of we need to work on it. That's all it is, Scottish call it dinner for tea. Steak and chips. It really did trigger me. Why would steak and chips is like such a good tea, even if it's chips, like chippy chips or oven, like good quality oven chips, or you've been out for your tea. Did you say you went out for your tea? So you went out for steak and chips. But why did it trigger you? Is it just a case of, normally, Neil set me 600 calories for my tea on a Tuesday and I've had 1,000 calories. Oh, what's the point in all of this? And that is such a common attitude. And it's just something we need to, like, why? Why does that then make us, and it's just, like I say, it is just something we need to, sometimes there's no easy answers. Sometimes there are no easy answers. Callum, good morning. Scottish call it dinner for tea. I'll let you off. I'll let you off. To be fair, I don't know where it is. Definitely a Lancashire thing. Tea, like we have a chippy tea. You have a chippy tea. Scotland, you have a fish supper. Right? We have a chippy tea here in Lancashire. But yeah, it's definitely a Lancashire thing. I think Yorkshire as well as tea. Like they have the tea at night time. I don't know. Where are you from? And do you call it breakfast, dinner, tea? Do you call it breakfast, lunch, dinner? Do you call it breakfast, dinner, dinner? Sometimes I do call it lunch. Lunch, dinner, I don't mind. Like, I'll have my dinner or I'll have my lunch. I do swap between those two sayings, but it's always my tea. What we have for tea? Go and have a tea. And they'll go, oh, you drink tea? No, you don't. You drink a brew. Drink brews around here. You don't drink tea. All right? Brew can be tea or coffee. Generally, a brew is tea. Right? If we're going to be authentic, if we're going to be strict about it, a coffee is not a brew. Right? A lot of people think a brew is just a hot drink. It's not. A coffee is a coffee. Tea is a brew. Right? Because you brew the bag. Right? You let it sit there. Right? That's officially. But I will allow people to call coffee brews. All right? Yeah. You've been allowed. Made me well happy. Must be the first year that I'm going into Christmas lighter than the year before. It is such a good way to look at things. Like, if you've not achieved what you've wanted to achieve this time of year, look back at last December and see where you weighed last December. Are you lighter? Because if you're lighter, you've made progress. You might have set out in 2025 to have lost, 3 stone. I'll say 2025, I'm going to lose 3 stone. And you might be sat there now nowhere near 3 stone. And that's all you can focus on. I want you to lose 3 stone. I want you to lose 3 stone. Stop it. Right? Go look at what you weighed last December. If you've all got like digital scales that link to an app, there'll be a log in there. Right? And you go back to this time last December. Even if you weigh 6 pounds lighter now than you did last December. I'm not saying it's exactly where you want to be, but it's progress. It's a step in the right direction. Next thing you need to do is ask yourself, why have I not quite got to my goal? What is the reasoning behind it? Right? And just have a little look back, and it could just be, I've just not put the effort in, Neil. I've not been as motivated as I should be. Then you've got to ask yourself, why? You need to be a 3-year-old kid that's just learned to speak, that's kind of like, why, mummy? Why, mummy? Why, daddy? Why? You need to be a bit like that. Why? Why have I not been motivated? Because I've been trying to do Slimming World, and I'm never got right. There you go. So let's fix that in the new year. Let's chuck Slimming World in the bin. Why have you struggled for motivation? Because I go at things like a bull in a china shop. I'm either 3,000 steps a day or 20,000 steps a day, but 20,000 steps a day isn't sustainable, right? So I'll do it for a month and then I'm back to me 3,000 steps. Right, so you're really inconsistent. So let's try and find a bit more balance, right? Stop flogging. You're not a hamster in a wheel trying to earn your tea by entertaining your owners, right? By the way, if your hamster doesn't run in its wheel, please still feed it. And just probably like, oh, I didn't know you could only feed your hamster if it runs in its wheel. No idea where I'm going. But, have a look back. Why? Why are you so all or nothing? Do you really need to be all or nothing? Because at the end of the day, you might do 20,000 steps a day for a month, right? Which is... Oh God, why do I have to do maths like this? 280,000 steps, right? But then for the next 6 months, you do 3,000 steps a day, which is 90,000 steps a month, right? And then you'll do 20,000 steps for a month, and then for the next 4 months, you do 3,000 steps a day. And over the course of a year, right, you might have done, I don't know, flipping 1 million steps, right? If you do 10,000 steps a day on average, you'll do 3.6 million. I've averaged 11,000 steps, 11,400, I think I'm on. That won't change by the end of 2024. So that means in 2025, I'll have done 4.1 million steps, right? So, and it's the same notion as, you know, if you do 1,000 calories a day for 6 weeks, right? Over those 6 weeks, you've had 42,000 calories, right? If over the next 6 months, you then go back to doing 3,000 calories a day, right? So 6 months is what? 6 times 26 is 156 times 3,000, right? You've had 468,000 plus 42,000 that you did for 6 weeks, right? So you've had 510,000. And then if we divide that by 32, it means you're averaging 16,000 calories a week. So by doing 1,000 calories a day for 6 weeks is crash dieting. You'll lose a lot of weight over those 6 weeks. But the bounce back effect of that is for the next 6 months, you'll just be back to your old habits eating 3,000 and your average is 2,300 a day, right? So it's about finding a bit more balance. So, and this is what we should be doing this time of year. But there's absolutely no point beating yourself up about what you've not achieved in 2025, right? Because you can't change the past. I can't change, like I say, the time I got out of bed this morning. I can't change what I had for my tea yesterday, right? I can't change the football hackers I put on Saturday. I can't, you know, we're not Marty McFly, Back to the Future Part 2. Let's go forward. Let's go. We can't do it, right? We can't do it. Yeah. You just can't change. You can change the net. You can change. I can change what, you know, what happens in the next 5 seconds, right? I can sit here, smack myself in the face, take my hat off, put my hat back on, right? I can change the future. Can't change the past. No point dwelling on it. Pointless. Absolutely pointless. All right. It's all right. I didn't put the effort in and just over a stone heavier than last year. And again, you know, life and friend, just be honest with yourself. You just be honest with yourself there. It's great. I didn't put the effort in. That's all you need. That's all you need is a bit of honesty at times, right? And now, why did you put the effort in? What's the reason? You've got to root into it. It's not just a case of, it's very rarely a case of, I just couldn't be bothered. I mean, it can be a case of that. But is it down to your approach? Is it down to other factors? Is it down to your mental health? Has your mental health just been really poor this year? Well, let's work on that next year. All right, let's maybe not prioritize. I'm not saying you can't prioritize weight loss and sorting your mental health out at the same time. I did, and lots of my clients do. But I've had a good amount of clients that have come on board with me and done nothing for 18 months in terms of scale movement. Nothing. Absolutely. In fact, some have regressed. Some have come on board with me at 240 pounds, and 18 months later, they're 245 pounds. And you might sit there and go, well, you're not a very good weight loss coach then, Neil. I am a good weight loss coach because I tell you what, while they've gained 5 pounds back over 18 months, what they've actually subconsciously been doing by consistently checking in with me, by consistently coming onto my lives, the weight loss coaching lives, the everything weight loss sessions is, they've been changing what goes on in here. And once this gets in a better place, suddenly, bang. Stacey won't mind me talking. Stacey's one of my clients. We've worked together for a long time. She might be on the live now, but she won't mind me mentioning this. Stacey was a client that did absolutely nothing in terms of scale movement for about 18 months. She did absolutely nothing, right? Lost a bit, gained a bit, questioned herself, got frustrated. Why are things not working? Blah, blah, blah. And I would say over the space of 6 to 8 months, it took us to get Stacey to realise that the scales aren't moving because she's being inconsistent with what she needs to do on her journey, right? Once you knew that, we could then you can only fix a problem once you know you've got a problem. Stacey then was able to go away and work on her mental health. Next thing, Stacey's 100 pounds down. Right? I don't mean that it didn't happen overnight, but by that 18 months of legwork that she put in, where the scales didn't move, but she never missed a check-in. She came on the line. She still comes on the lines now. She's fully accountable, right? And, 18 months it took to put the little pieces into place to sort this out and a few other bits and pieces. And once she'd done that, next thing, she could start going from being in, the 20 mile an hour zone into the 50 mile an hour zone into the motorway, right? She's lost 100 pounds. She's kept it off. She's been consistent. We've had other little issues along the way. She's booked in for a lot of skin removal surgery in the next 3 months, and she's having a brilliant journey. There's still some issues, right? There always will be, and we'll keep sorting those out as we go along. But brilliant. And Stacey's just someone that sits in my mindset because she is one of my longest clients, and she was such like a classic example. What a lot of people do is they do nothing on the scales for 3 or 4, 5, 6 months and then just disappear. It's not working. Rather than Stacey never did that. She dug in. She knew. She trusted the process. She trusted me as a coach. And she deep down knew that the reason she wasn't getting the results on the scales was because of what she was doing. We then just needed to figure out why she couldn't consistently do what she needed to do. And once we ticked all the boxes, boom, 100 pounds down, 7 stone. God, maybe a bit more now, I finish work at 5, take the kids to clubs, then pick them up at 7, then it goes downhill. I get lazy. Yeah, so basically what you sort of say, what do you mean you get lazy at 7? We should be lazy at 7 o'clock, right? In a way. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're coming in at I finish work at 5, loads of people do, right? Take the kids to club, loads of people do that. Then pick them up at 7. All right. So you've got between 5. What do you do between 5 and 7? And then it goes downhill and I get lazy. What do you mean you get lazy? Like lazy with your food choices, lazy with what? Like, don't get me wrong. If you've had a full day at work and sorting bits and pieces out, 7 o'clock is the time where you unwind. I'll be on the sofa tonight at 7:30. Footy's on at 8, United, right? So at 7:30 tonight, I'll be feet up on the sofa, kind of popping my hand, watching the footy, ready to go, right? But I'll have done everything I need to do. Will I overeat it? No. It's like, what's happening? I kept saying I'll get my steps in when kids are at club, but I end up sorting the house and dinner. Yeah, but again, that's, that is a time when, so if getting your steps in when your kids are at club, it's not like it's not like it's a poor excuse. Like you're sorting the house out and you're making the dinner. Great. That's kind of what you should be doing between 5 and 7 at night time in a way. Right. So what you need is, it's not about getting lazy at 7 o'clock. Get your steps in before 5 o'clock. Now, a lot of people come at me and go, well, I do sedentary. It doesn't matter. Right. I'm not asking you to run a marathon. I'm asking you to do 10,000 steps. The number 10,000 sounds like a lot. And obviously, if you have any disabilities, any, mobility issues, I'm not asking you to do 10,000 steps. But, it's the first kickback I get. From the day I started personal training in 2018, what's your daily movement like? I do a sedentary day. So do I. I do, by the way. I sit here loads. Recording content, recording podcasts, doing lives. I sit here either talking into my computer or talking to my phone 12 hours a week between social media lives, weight loss coaching lives, everything weight loss sessions. Yeah, I do a sedentary day job, right? But I also do a lot of movement. So it's kind of like my wife does a sedentary day job. She's a digital marketing account manager. She sits at a desk most of the day, right? But she gets up in the morning and she'll do a good few steps. She does quite a few steps around the office because of, the way where her office is positioned and when she goes to the toilet. And every dinner time, there's like 3 or 4 of them, and they basically go for a 30-40 minute walk, right? I remember your stand-up lives. Do you know what? I did used to stand up on my lives. I did when this was the RLB gym and I used to have my camera set up. I used to stand up in my lives, and it helped. I'll tell you 2 reasons why I don't stand up in my lives anymore. Number one, well, there's a few reasons really. Number one, I did buy a standing desk because I thought I'd start standing up in my lives. But I actually, because I sort of answer emails and bits pieces, I do find it easy sitting down, right? I've changed my life now where I get my steps in. So I used to stand up in my lives and I used to do like 1,500 steps in an hour. If I walk for an hour, I do 6,000 steps. But the biggest reason why I don't stand up in my lives anymore is my knees. And I've not faced that, right? I've not been, but it is my knees, right? I would stand up in my lives, and if I can walk for an hour fine with my knees, right? And I'm all right. Standing on one spot, right? It's an unnatural thing for me. And it puts a lot of pressure through my knees. And that is generally the one of the reasons why. And I think since I've moved into an office, I just sit down. Now, if I struggled to get my steps in, I would probably go back, probably go back to doing stand-up lives. But I used to do 1,500 steps in a stand-up live. That's 10 to 15 minutes of walking. So I never used to do any cardio in the gym. I spent 3 years not doing any cardio. So now I do 15 minutes on the cross trainer, most gym sessions when I'm doing weights. And that does a good 2,500 steps. So I've just changed things a little bit. And it's a bit kinder on my knees, Good evening, boss. How are you? Jess, I'm very good, thank you. Yeah, I am. I'm really good at the moment. I do like December. I take my foot off the gas in December in terms of work, because work does quieten down a little bit, right? It just does. It's December. Not everyone's, I don't take any new clients on. Rare I get new people signing up to the community. I take my foot off the gas with writing content, sorting content out. And the reason for that is because Jan, Feb, March is flipping bonkers. I do not stop. So it evens itself out. So I'm enjoying, like today, I had a bit of a lie until 7. I don't care. It's December. It's Christmas. Right. So I'm enjoying a bit more of a balance, a bit more of a chill. Guys, something, I've got 2 left. Boss Your Protein. Mr. John Jackson, I was going to message you today. Would you rather, you can answer here or just drop me a WhatsApp. Would you rather me do what I did last time, and I did it by accident, generate an every code and then you redirect it, like an every label, and I'll just post it and you redirect it, or would you rather it go to an in-post locker? Doesn't make a difference to me, mate. I've just not done. I'm sending all boxes that I've got 4 to send off. I've got 2 left. So if you want it to go this morning with the other 4, Christmas, Merry Christmas, Boss Your Protein box. So we've got. I've kind of gone for like the flavors I've tried, like bloody hell, you'll have to use your imagination a little bit. But I've tried to go for some Christmassy flavors in here, plus a few extra treats. I've done 48 boxes this month, which is the most I've ever done in a month. And I've sold 46 and I've got 2 left. This one and 1 in my kitchen. So if you want a Boss Your Protein box, posting today. I'm going to put it on my Instagram if they don't go this morning. Posting today. TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page, Instagram. Get to my link tree, scan down in my link tree, click on the Boss Your Protein, subscribe and save for 10% off. If you want to subscribe and save, and I've not done anything Facebook, YouTube, I'm sorry. I will talk to you in a second. Subscribe and save, 10% off. So that's £19.98 delivered to your door. Lots of protein products in there, plus a few extra treats as well. And if you don't want one after that, just cancel it. You're in charge. There's no minimum subscription. It's not like you need to have 3 or 6 to take the discount. But if you get the box, like, oh, this is really cool, I'll have another one. Leave your subscription live, and you'll get the next one. There isn't one in January. I skipped half a dozen, maybe 8 orders yesterday, and I should have done a broadcast because I just got a message. Why is my order skipped? Why is my order skipped? And I was like, it's just skipped for January because I don't do them in January. I only do boxes February to December. Anyway, in the end, I actually managed to find a way to just go in and just alter the next order date. So no one should have got, you might have got an email saying your order date's changed, but I've not had any people going, have I not got the Christmas box? I'm like, yes, everyone's got the Christmas box. It's just, once I've sent the Christmas box off, I've then changed your order. But 2 Boss Your Protein boxes left. So TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page. Go and grab one. $19.98 delivered to your door. Give it as a present. So, someone that goes to the gym or someone that loves protein bars or something like that. There you are. You've got a present for them. Hopefully it'll come like that. Unfortunately, John's didn't. He got a bit of a battering. But if it does get a bit of a battering, let me know. I'll sort you out. I'll do you a refund or something like that. I need photo evidence, of course. I'm going to get a million. Mine was better, Neil. Can I have a refund? No, you can't. Nelly New, good morning on Facebook. And Susan Lovelace, good morning. My average steps per day is 10,000. Brilliant. Last few weeks, I've been managing 15K, but I'm wondering, can walking so much in one go as my walking walk wear out my hip and knee joints? I'm 60 female. It just got me thinking. It's one of them. Like, if you're doing it, you've just got to listen to your body. Your body will tell you at the end of it. So if you do 15,000 steps in one hit, which is about 2 hours of walking, and at the end of it, like, your feet are achy, fine, right? Your body's a bit tired, fine. If you're in pain, that means it's putting stress through, if your hip's hurting, it's putting stress through your hip. If your knees are hurting, it's putting stress through your knees. And this is what, now, look, if you average 10,000 steps a day, right, and you always do yours 10,000 steps a day in one hit, and for a few weeks you up it to 15,000 steps a day, you're walking for another 30 minutes or so, and walking such low impact anyway. Now, if you've got knee issues, if you've got hip issues, you've had new knees, new hips, something like that, potentially, yes, you put in, and this is why we've got to let the body adapt to any increase in movement. And too many people and I get it with clients, and I've got to rein them in a little bit. I get clients that come to me, what's your average steps? Less than 5,000 a day. Right, I'll start their step progression plan. They've got no mobility issues. I'll start the step progression plan at 6, and we'll eke it up to 10,000 over the space of 3 months. And that gives your body time to adapt to this increase in movement. Next check-in, they've averaged 11,000 steps. And I'm like, you can't go from, even if you've got no mobility issues, no disabilities, no nothing, going from, one extreme to another. Lisa, thank you very much. Lisa's just bought a box. One left. There is one left. If you want it, let me just check stock and make sure stock's live. Otherwise, you won't be able to buy it anyway. And if you do buy the box and it's sold out, then I will refund you. But there's one left, one available. And if you think, I can only show you on TikTok, but there you go. Flip camera. One available. One Boss Your Protein box. All right. If you want that box, get it bought now. Anyway, so extra movement does put more wear and tear on the body. The body will always adapt to extra movement, and it'll increase joint strength, it'll increase ligament strength, it'll increase muscle strength. So what's that? I'm getting oh no, that's just thinking with Bob. So, but listen to your body. That's the I average 11,000 steps a day, but it's very rare I do a walk that's more than 30 minutes, maybe once a week, right? 30 minutes is about, and that's just a time thing. So I tend to walk the dog separately. So for example, today, this is how I'll do over 10,000 steps today. I'm going to get up in a minute, and I've got a few bits and pieces to do around the house. So just pottering around the house, doing the bits and pieces I've got to do, will do me 1,000 steps, right? I will then go to the gym. I'll do 15 minutes on the cross trainer, which will do me 2,000 steps. I'll then do 30 minutes of weights. And when I do, I've just got a restriction. That's why I waited till the end. Guys, you're directing people away from TikTok, so we're going to restrict your life. Brilliant. Cheers. So I am, what am I doing? Yeah, so 15 minutes cross trainer in the gym. That'll get me a couple of 1,000 steps in, at least, probably a bit more, about 2.5. Then when I do my weights in the gym for half an hour, I'll tend to use equipment so basically I'll do seated row in the resistance machine bit, right? And then I'll probably do lat pull down in the free weight bit, right? So I'll walk from one side of the gym to the other. Then I'll probably do seated row in the free weight bit, and then I'll do a lat pull down in the resistance. So basically what I'm trying to say there is I don't do exercises generally back to back. So I keep moving around the gym. By the time, and then on the way home from the gym, I'll nip into Aldi just to see if there's any new bits and pieces. We also need toilet roll, softener. I need some mushrooms because we're having carbonara tonight. I need some Parmesan cheese. I need a few bits and pieces from Aldi. That'll do. So by the time I get home from the gym, which is probably going to be about 1 o'clock today, I'll have done 6,000 steps, maybe a few more. I'll then have my dinner, and I'll probably come in here and record my podcast. Then I'll take Betty out 20-25 minutes. Then I'll come back and I'll grab Bloss and I'll take her out 20-25 minutes. So I suppose I'm doing a 45-minute walk then. Normally in between their walks, so I'll have a 10-minute break, right? Not because I need it, just because I might have had an email or I might snip in here and my head's just bits like that. Then I'll have a little bit of a chill, editing my podcast, getting all set up. Then I'll start tea, and I'll start doing, when I do tea, I sort of do jobs around the house at the same time. So I've got some washing that's in at the moment. I'll probably hang that up and this, that, and the other. And then by the time Rachel gets home tonight, I'll have done my 10,000 steps. And then we'll have tea, and then we'll put the dog, and then we'll take the dogs out together. 20 minutes, probably something like that. And that'll do me another 2. So I should be on 12,000 by that. That's how I do my steps most days. That's my routine most days. Right, doesn't really change. When routine does change on a Saturday, or sometimes steps can be a little bit lower. And Sunday, we try and do the beach every Sunday morning, depending on the weather and the tides. So that's it, Susan. That's what I'd say. So just if you're saying I'm 60 and I've got no hip or knee issues, but I'm 60, so I'm worried about not doing 15,000 steps a day. It's low impact. It's very gentle on the body. If you feel that, your hips are really sore, your knees are really sore at the end of it, break it up. Do 10,000 in the morning, 10,000 in the evening, or break it up like I do. I do it in loads of little pockets throughout the day. It's like I say, I couldn't even tell you the longest walk I've done this year, other than being on holiday where we have done quite a bit of treading here and there, depending on where we've been, is probably an hour when we go to the beach. It's very rare I do I'm not a mountaineering sort of guy or anything like that. We used to do on a Sunday morning an hour and a half walk, which was going up a lane round through the fields, basically, round the back. So I live in a village, and then there's another village up, and then there's like a little hamlet in the middle. And then we have a lane that sort of runs right round the back of both villages. It's a really common dog walking lane. But the last couple of years, it's knackered, and it's literally got like about a 10-minute walk in. It's got a puddle in it, like that's just like a dike's overflowed, the road's got knackered, and it's like that. So unless you're wearing wellies, which I just find really uncomfortable for a long dog walk, so we've not been able to do it. But apparently it's all been repaired now, so we might get back to that. And that's about an hour and a half walk. In fact, we're going to do it on New Year's Eve, I think, if the weather's decent. Well, we'll do that, and then that'll take us up to the next village. We're going to do a couple of pubs in the next village for New Year's Eve and then walk back. Or what we class as the main road, you know. What's included in the box, please? It's a mystery box, so I can't tell you everything. But basically, there's just, it's different every month. It's different protein bars, different protein snacks. You know, there's bars, cookies, flapjacks, a variety mix of all three, shakes. And then there's a few Christmas treats in there just because it's Christmas. All right. So I can't tell you exactly because, like I say, people like it being a mystery box and open it up and see because it's different every single month. So I always try and put new products in. Though this month I have repeated a product and I didn't realize it. I thought I'd ordered a different flavor and I hadn't done. So if you got November's box, there is a repeat in this box. And you'll know what that repeat is. And here's my tip. Microwave it, right? This is my tip. Microwave it for 20 seconds, maybe a little bit longer, and have it with a blob of vanilla ice cream and a little drizzle of toffee sauce, right? It makes, and you'll be at 300 calories, right? And it makes a great dessert. Honestly, microwave it. You'll know what, if you had November's box, you'll be like, oh, I had this last month. So if you just ate it last month, fine. This month, ping it in the microwave, 20 seconds or so, 20, 30 seconds, warm it right up. It goes quite gooey, right? Quite soft. Blob of ice cream, little drizzle of toffee sauce on it. That is a banging dessert, and it'll give you like 16, 17 grams of protein with your dessert for 300 calories, yeah? I found the challenges really helped keep me motivated and made me push for those steps. Brilliant, Megan. Love it. I didn't get November, so I'm fine. John, you are fine. John, you won't notice. In fact, there's been a lot of new sales this month, actually, so you'll be absolutely fine. It's a decent product. It is. But it's like anything with protein bars and stuff like that. It's like anything with protein bars and stuff like that. It's, you know, they can be a bit love-hate. I get it. But this box is a good one because it's all different products. So, you know, you might, oh, I really like that. I'll buy more of that. Oh, I didn't like that. I won't have that again. Yeah. And what you'll tend to notice with these boxes is a lot of protein flapjacks are very similar. A lot of protein cookies are very similar. There's a banging protein cookie in there. A banging one. A really, really good one. I love it. Absolutely love it. One of the best there is on the market. You know, certain brands, you'll notice that the bars are quite similar. So you might be like, I like Grenade. I like Bear Bells. I like the Mars ones. I like Applied Nutrition. I like Maxi Nutrition. You'll get to know that the brands are very, very similar. So, you know, if you like one Grenade bar, you tend to like most Grenade bars. Anyway, there we go. That's it. So there's one protein box left. If you want to give it a go, it's $19.98. Yeah, you're not selling your house to get it. So give it a try. See if you like it. If you don't like it, that's if you subscribe and save. If you don't subscribe and save, it's $21.98. But if you do subscribe and save, you save yourself £2. And there's no minimum commitment. So you might as well save yourself £2 and then cancel. Yeah. Anyway, there's one box left. If you want it, get it bought. If not, it'll go on Instagram this afternoon. And hopefully that should see them off. Right, I'm going. I'll be back about 10:15. If you're on Planner in the community, we'll be back 10:15 for this morning's Weight Loss Coaching Live. And we're going to talk about New Year. Kirsty, good morning. And Victoria Jane on Facebook, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Nothing personal. I'm just going. Right. But if you're on Planner in the community and you're free, hopefully I'll see you in about 45 minutes. Everyone else, I'll be back at some point tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, I think. 10 o'clock-ish. It will be a quickie tomorrow. It's final challenge day for a big chunk of clients. The way the challenge has ended up is I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of you checking tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 next week. 26 of you left. That's a good number. 26 of you left, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 unfortunately didn't complete the challenge. 9 didn't complete. 26 of you left. One of you, a week tomorrow, will get 500 quid. All right. One of you a week tomorrow will get 500 quid tax-free paid into your account. Guys, it's been a pleasure as always. I will be back tomorrow morning, probably about 10ish, something like that. Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Have a great Thursday, whatever you're doing. TikTok, I'll sign up to you first. And Facebook, YouTube, sign up to you.